Hello there, this is our Thinking Out Loud Series 13 on logical thinking. To have objectively reasonable thoughts, that is what logical thinking is about. Here we go. Logic is the art of thinking well, and our mind, our body needs to be exercised, and we need to let it have workouts if you like. Otherwise, we just go lazy and it wouldn't be as logical, as flexible, and as powerful or efficient as we would like it to be. And if that's the case, then we couldn't possibly put our mind to use in the most advantageous way. Right? And Charan is an actor. He said this: drama starts where logic ends. Of course, if we take it figuratively, it does make a lot of sense. When we let our emotions, especially the negative ones, to overrun our thinking, and that is where our logical thinking will just go kaput or haywire. We just are not thinking logically or reasonably anymore. Right? And to think logically, in a nutshell, means to analyze and reason a set of facts objectively, without any feelings, without any biases, without any prejudice, and to reach a rational conclusion or solution. So that is the gist of logical thinking. And by practicing logical thinking, we could ensure that we make important decisions in the right way, in the best way possible. We could generate creative ideas, and of course we could effectively solve problems. And very importantly as well, it helps us to set goals that are reachable and doable. To learn more about setting goals, short-term and long-term, you could refer to our teaching TOL series 4 actually, on the power plan, if you are keen on learning on that. Now, here are 4 simple tips on how to cultivate logical thinking. One is to have creative hobbies. So creative hobbies like writing, drawing, painting, learning musical instruments, all these hobbies will engage us in deep thoughts and concentration, and that will help us to approach our work, any problem, very intently, very focused, and that is part and parcel of having logical thinking. And along the way, this will help us to develop our problem-solving skills, obviously. And when we are procedural, if you like, not rigid but procedural, we know the sequence, the step-by-step process of things, then we would not be so stressed out. And when we are not stressed out, then we could approach a problem with ease and flexibility, and that will automatically make us more productive. Right? And second tip is about practicing asking questions. How often were we being told that we are not asking the right questions, or simply not asking any questions at all? Right? The truth is, when we ask questions, even about something that we think we already know, we are actually learning more, because that will help us to widen our view. We start seeing things in a more comprehensive manner, and that can lead to new discoveries, seeing things in a way that we have never seen it before, or finding the new knowledge that we have never thought that is there before. And by learning more new things, acquiring more new knowledge, obviously, we become more prepared when encountering problems. Problems can come in many forms. The more complex that they are, they wouldn't catch us by surprise, because we have a lot of ideas back in there from all the questionings that we have done, so we have enough ideas to tackle them. And in order to ask so many questions to the people around us from all walks of life, from all levels of society, that will actually help us to widen our social networking. And that leads us to the next tip, that is being sociable. By establishing a relationship with other people, it will actually help us to share the views of others while voicing out our own views as well, obviously. And when we are engaging with other people in our social circle, we learn to see things from different points of view. And this is about thinking flexibly, actually. And again, if you are interested to know more about this, you could actually look at our Thinking Out Loud Series 6 on flexible thinking. Right? And when we practice this, we are actually gathering more ideas, more perspectives, and hence, when there are new challenges, more complex problems that arise along the way, we'll be more prepared to face them. And we could approach problems with a more versatile manner. Meaning what? When we are versatile, we are flexible, meaning that we don't just have a tool in our toolkit, there are many tools in there. So there are many ways of approaching a problem. The more options we have, then the better chance that we come up with the best solution. And in other words, we could be covering all the grounds in a particular problem solving. And as we all know, the more we know, the more comprehensive our knowledge is, that will help us to tackle the problem more effectively. Last but not least, make anticipations of the decision that we have come up to through our logical thinking. Now, this is about considering the immediate and also the long-term consequences of our decision. This is where we are made to pay very close attention to the results of our decision. Very often, we will go through the process of logical thinking and come out to the best solution, and we stop right there. We do not take it any further or extend our thought any further to what could possibly happen or what could this outcome of our solution possibly bring. And that is very, very important actually, because that will actually help us to backtrack to our solution and make it better so that we could avoid letting that extra or extended consequence to take place and make things worse eventually or create another problem along the way. Right? So that's the importance of making anticipations in logical thinking. Alright, Sherlock Holmes, as in The Sign of Four, said this: "I never guessed. It is a shocking habit. It's destructive to our logical faculty." So how often do we do this? Because logical thinking follow a set of steps. It's a sequential thing. Step 1, 2, 3, that's logical, right? But that takes practice, and that takes effort, that takes energy, and that takes time. So very often, we, being what we are, we tend to choose the easy way out. We skip all these steps and just jump to the conclusion. So we guess actually. Well, if it's just a small matter of not much consequence, it's alright to guess. But imagine if it's a big decision, like deciding whether to take a certain subject or not for the semester, or whether to drop a certain subject or not, or what topic to do for a final year project. These are big decisions with huge implications later on in our lives or in the near future. So too much of guesswork is not quite the right forward, right? So with that, my dear students, do practice the 4 tips that we have shared earlier on to develop your logical thinking skills so that you could start unleashing the 90% or later potential inside you. Remember, it's not in your mom's freezer, it's not in your neighbor auntie's sewing machine, it's definitely not in your water bottle. Right? So with that, thank you very much. Bye-bye and stay safe.